What's up everybody, it's Ron, and today I'm going to be reviewing Godzilla vs. Kong. So aside from Wonder Woman 1984 and the Justice League, this is another one of the first big releases on HBO Max, and I have to admit that it's pretty cool to be able to fire up these big blockbuster movies in my living room, and obviously I was going to be interested in this because this movie has been teased in the first two Godzilla movies and Kong Skull Island, but I was a little unsure how it would turn out. I didn't really like the Godzilla movies, and Kong Skull Island was okay, but this one was a major improvement on both of them overall. Some of the characters from Godzilla King of Monsters return in this, and that was probably the weakest part of both of these films. I understand that you can't just have monsters fight each other with no story, and I have to admit I was pretty bored during King of Monsters because I really didn't care about any of them. And that carries over in this as well, because I found the plot really convoluted at first, jumping back and forth between the characters, and there are basically two separate side missions, but both of these sections did come together nicely at the end. So although the journey to get there wasn't the best experience, I understand why it needed to unfold that way. The part with the Stranger Things girl in particular was probably the most boring for me, with her friend and the conspiracy theorist guy, but I did think the other part with King Kong going on a mission to the Hollow Earth was at least interesting and raises a lot of questions for the future of this franchise, like the origin of that cool axe that Kong discovers there and the history of the Titans. This movie works because of Kong. He's hands down the best character in this, and I think they did a really great job early on developing his relationship with that little girl, and you end up feeling sympathy for him, especially when he's being forced on this Hollow Earth mission, and he's tied up to his ship, and it's raining on him, and you can't help feeling sorry for the guy, which also makes you really root for him when he goes up against Godzilla. They go at it twice in this movie, and both action scenes are really great and a huge improvement compared to the other Godzilla films in particular, because in those films the kaiju action was really dark and rainy and you couldn't see what was going on most of the time. But both fights are really bright and vibrant and intense. Especially the first fight when Kong is stuck underwater, tied up in chains, and Godzilla is racing towards him. It was actually really thrilling and fun. So yeah, obviously this movie works best when Godzilla and Kong are beating each other up, and it's all very silly, but it's also escapist fun, and I can't blame the filmmaker and the writers for going all out and not taking this whole thing too seriously. The villain was kinda lame and silly, but it does set up the Mecha Godzilla, which wasn't the greatest of secrets if you read up about this movie beforehand, and it is a little predictable that eventually Kong and Godzilla were going to team up and fight it, but it still works because the character of Kong has a lot of heart, and it was really satisfying to see him get up and help Godzilla defeat the Mecha Godzilla with his axe that gets powered by the radioactivity, and I thought that was really cool. I think kids are really going to enjoy this movie because there hasn't been something this big and fun in a while, and although I laughed at how silly it was most of the time and maybe got bored by the human parts a little too much, I think it was a big success and it did exactly what it set out to do. I thought the runtime was really perfect. It didn't get too bogged down by any specific part too much, and the set pieces were really cool and colorful. I was surprised at the destruction in Hong Kong at the end. That was like Man of Steel level stuff. And both Godzilla and King Kong definitely kill a bunch of people, which was weird, but I don't think anyone was concerned about that during the making of this movie. So if you don't expect too much and want to turn your brain off for a fun monster movie, definitely check it out on HBO Max because it's worth watching in the comfort of your own home, but I'm pretty sure this is also in theaters, so at least people have that option. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and thank you for watching. Hey everyone, it's Ron here with a quick announcement. When I started this channel, I was reading and reviewing the Dune books and other sci-fi related material, and most of you might not know that I'm also a musician. So when I was reading these sci-fi books, I started to get inspired and decided to make my own soundtrack to use for my videos, and now I'm excited to tell you all about the first volume in the Ron Reviews original soundtrack collection. This album includes the first 17 tracks featured on my channel, and it's available now exclusively on Bandcamp. Be sure to check the description of this video for the link to the album. Thanks so much for the support so far. I know I'm just starting out, but I hope you're having as much fun as I am. So check out the original soundtrack Volume 1 on Bandcamp. This music is great if you want something moody and atmospheric to listen to while you're reading some science fiction. I think you're going to love it. Thanks.